This tip is about how to avoid getting ghosted, which means the client just disappears on you. And who does that not happen to? Everybody gets ghosted, and it's really frustrating, especially after you've had such a good conversation with the client and you really think there's some opportunity here that you can make a difference. Now, I want to be clear here. This isn't effective when it comes to cold calling somebody and they say, send me information, and then they just don't respond. That's not a ghost, in my opinion. A ghosting is you've had a real conversation, there's real meat on that bone, and there's next steps, and they just disappear. Now, a way that we can do this ties to one of my favorite nuggets that I've talked about in previous tips. It's called the summary email. And the way it works is when you and I have a conversation, after this conversation, if there's some next steps here, what I say is this: thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate it. There's some next steps and action items here. Before I go ahead and do that though, what I'm going to do is I'm going to briefly summarize what I was able to gain from our conversation today. And I'm going to send it into a quick email. Could you do me a favor and email me back to let me know if it's all accurate and if I missed anything? So you let the client know that's going to happen. Okay. Now, right after you get off the phone, you write this email. And again, do not write a book here. This is not a chance for you to reiterate your value proposition. This is purely to confirm what you heard from them, specifically when it comes to their priorities and their timeline. Those are the two big things you want to make sure that you focus on in discovery. So, hey, thanks for your time. Really appreciate it. Blows brief summary. Could you email me back? Current situation's this, timeline's this, priorities this. Next steps. Now, say that's on a Monday. Friday comes, that's when the next meeting's supposed to happen. Now, Friday comes and goes, and lo and behold, they don't show up. Now, what you don't want to do is on Monday, hey, touching base, checking in, seeing how the weekend went. With that summary email, what you can do is just do the assumptive close, just reply all to the email. Hey, not sure what happened on Friday. Let me know when you want to reschedule. So just totally assume that meeting, something happened there, whatever. Then call them. Hey, not sure what happened. Hopefully everything's okay. Family, whatever, sick, whatever. Just let me know when you want to reschedule. Maybe one more email. Did you want to reschedule this week? Right. But the key is you want to keep replying all to this email. Okay. Because you want to, at the end, you want them to see that you've come after them 4 or 5 times. Now, if they don't respond, what you do is you take that email, you reply all to it one more time. You replace the subject line. And in the subject line, you write, still interested? And that's it. Right? Still interested with a question. And then when they open up, you say, could you let me know if you're still interested either way so I don't continue with unnecessary follow-up? And that line's important, by the way. So I don't continue with unnecessary follow-up. Letting you know I'm going to be continuing with unnecessary follow-up. We can do this the easy way or the hard way, your choice. Now, if they don't respond to this one, this is the one that gets you about a 90% response rate. What you do is you reply all one more time to that email, erase the subject line, and write in that subject line, did I lose you? And that's it. When they open up the email, they see your signature file and then the other 5 emails that you've sent them. I get about a 90% response rate on that one. Now, don't get me wrong. It's not always positive. It's about 50-50. 50% of the time, sorry, John, we've gone a different direction. 50% of the time, sorry, man, been super busy. Let's reconnect. Either way, I get a response. So if you don't want to get ghosted, use that process, okay? And there's one more little kicker here on this one, which I've started to play around with, which I actually have some fun with. A great way to get people not to ghost you is to simply ask them not to ghost you. And so the way it works, you kind of have to have a personality for this one for it to work. But what you do is at the end of that initial call or whatever, that initial discovery call, you say at the end, you almost pretend like you forgot something. And oh, I'm sorry. Hey, could you do me a favor? Could I ask a real quick favor before we get off the phone here? Client says, yeah, sure. They're always going to say, yeah, what can I help you with? Look, as we go through this process, could you just make sure you don't ghost me? And then just let it sit, see what happens. Because if they know what that means, they're going to laugh about it, right? Okay, I can at least commit to that. But if they don't know what that means, you can say, hey, you can have some fun with it. Well, the whole dating thing, like we're on a first date here. I'm feeling good about it, right? But maybe you're not. And so after this, I'm going to follow up, I'm going to call, I'm going to follow up, and you're going to avoid, you're going to delete, and you're going to avoid. And eventually I'm going to get through because it's, because that's my job and it's going to be weird. But I'm a big boy here. Knows the second best answer. So just please don't ghost me. And they'll usually laugh about it, whatever. Now, what happens when they do ghost you later, because they will, you can just put in the subject line, for instance, Casper, or like a little ghost emoji or something like that and say, hey, what happened? I thought you said you weren't going to ghost me. So those are a couple of ways you can work with clients to make sure you don't get ghosted. All right, make it happen.